Look at this. This entire user interface, the way that the UI breathes, the depth of the design, the how smoothness of this design. I didn't spend 3 days fighting with CSS or XML constraints to get the padding right. I described a feeling to an AI, and Google Stitch built the visual structure for me. But I want to be very clear right now. This is not a concept. This is in dribble shot that doesn't work. This is a fully functional, production ready Android app. It has local database, background workers, MVVM architecture, and over 3000 lines of Kotlin code. I built this to solve a very specific, very loud problem inside my own head. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how I built it and why. For the first time in a long time, I finally got some sleep. Let me ask you a question and be honest with me. How many times have you laid down in the bed, ready to sleep, and then your brain just turns on? Did I lock the front door? Did I turn the stove off? Is the garage closed? Did I reply to that mail? For most people, that's a fleeting thought. You check once, you sleep. But for the people dealing with high anxiety or OCD tendencies, that thought isn't a question, it's an alarm. There is a psychological loop called the reassurance trap. You feel anxious, so you check the door. You feel better for 10 seconds, but because you gave into the urge, the brain learns that checking is the only way to feel safe. So the next right, the urge is stronger. And you check twice, then 3 times. I want to build an app that breaks that loop. Most habit apps are about doing things. Tick the box, achieve the streak, do more. I want to build an anti-productivity app. I didn't want a checklist, I wanted a closure. So I had the philosophy, but I need the interface. And this is where tech stack gets wild. Normally, I would open a design tool and stare at blank canvas for hours. This time I used Google Stitch. I didn't put a prompt like put a button here or make the header blue. I actually used ChatGPT to generate an UI that actually uh, resonate with the theme of my particular application. So basically, the prompt here just says create a minimal, calm bedtime theme, dark mode by default, soft rounded shapes, smooth animation, and no bright success states. Everything should be gentle and reassuring. So this is the kind of theme that I wanted for, and this is a symbol list wise application. So this is the way how I wanted to create a safe and feel good feeling for a particular person. So this is how I made the prompt, and this is the result I got. And this is the home page of that particular application, and you can see how beautiful and gentle it looks. And this is where I create the list, and this list also looks clean and slick. And this is the breathing. This has a breathing animation inside it, and that breathing animation is really soothing. And this is the settings page where you can add the list, where you can set the time. So this kind of design was created with one long prompt generated by GPT. And I even tried to tinker with this particular UI and even changed the UI by clicking, just saying change the background to green. And it kept the UI design simple and slick as before, and managed to change the color of the background and keeping the tone and the style the same. So Google Stitch is a revolutionary stuff which can act as a bridge between a developer and UI UX engineer. And it's just wow how fast you can create this. And this, to be frank, this reduced my design time from maybe weeks to minutes. And I think this is a critical bridge for the developers watching it. And I didn't even write the logic here. I just tell him, give me the skin. Then after that only I moved to creating the soul of this application using cursor. Now, let's walk through the actual experience. When you open the WindDown application, there is zero friction. There is just one button that says to begin the WindDown. We are not asking for any login information or asking to sign up as well. This is because it's a really critical application where I believe the user shouldn't be prompted for any such accounts, and the user has to keep his privacy with himself. And that's why I believe we don't have to fetch information from him. And this application keeps it very simple. And because when you are really anxious at 11 p.m., a login screen is a panic attack waiting to happen. And I don't want that, since I believe this application is for the gentle minds. And you tap begin, you see a settings page, and that is where you can set your sleeping time. For example, I can set it as 10:30, that is when I usually sleep. And there are like certain patterns that I follow before my sleep. For example, I check whether my doors are locked, whether my internet is off, whether I have turned on my gas stove. So these kind of things you can add as a to-do list. So it acts as a simple to-do list, and after that you can just click done, and voila. After that, by 10:30 you will get a notification saying, okay, you can see what all things you have done before your sleep. So when the notification comes, you can click it, and if you can verify whether those things are being done, and you can click it off. And this does not create any super animation or anything. We just say, okay, that is one less thing for you to worry about. And we are not prompting you to do anything. We are just giving you an assurance that, okay, you have done this particular step and you can relax as well. And there is also an hide the list. That is an acknowledgement for your mental strength as well, saying, okay, you don't have to check the list, but you can verify. We over the time, the app makes sure that you don't even use this app. You just grow in such a way that you create a pattern to close this activities or do this activity on the muscle memory, so that this particular application is not at all needed. For that also, we have created a hidden list feature. So when you tap the item, it doesn't snap or click, it fades, and a little message appears in the bottom saying, okay, that's one less thing to carry out tonight. And we are shifting the psychology from verifying the danger to acknowledging the safety of the user. It's a tiny difference in the code, just a testing change, but it has a massive effect on the mind of the users uh, who is using it, because we are not creating any panic attack. We just want gentle reassurance for you and your sleep. Now imagine, like I said, you have a list of things that you wanted to do before your sleep. You completed it entirely. You went to sleep. Now your mind thinks, oh, did I close the door actually? That's when you can use this application. You turn on the application, you just see the relaxed breathing animation, which says you can sleep reassuredly, because you have verified everything. So this is the simple UI technique that we have made sure to reassure the user to sleep tight. Now, this is the feature that actually makes the app work. Once you finish your list, the app gives you a timestamp. You wrapped at 10:42 p.m. You are safe to rest. And if you try to go back, the check again, or out of some panic, you try to check the list again. The app blocks me and says, you have already wrapped everything for tonight. Trust yourself, just breathe. And this is the most vital part of the code. And I used breathing animation to make sure that you are relaxed in such a state. The app had to be smarter than your anxiety. It had to be firm, kind voice saying, no need of more checking. Okay, let's geek out for a minute. Underneath this calm UI is a beast of code base. Kotlin, obviously, UI toolkit, Jetpack Compose. Everything is composable function. The animations are driven by animate color as state and update transition. The architecture MVVM model. Why MVVM? Because I needed UI to be really dumb. The UI shouldn't know how we save the data. It just observes the state flow from the view model. Data persistence, it's just room database. Every time you tap at the item, it is saved locally instantly. Because if the app crashes, you lose your checklist. That creates more anxiety. Reliability was the number one requirement. Uh, I worked on a work manager, add in one spam, a gentle nudge by the time you sleep. Work manager ensures that the notification happens even if the app has been closed for days. Like I said, I used clearly an AI tool. Like I used lot of AI tool to complete this application. I use tools like Google Stitch, Cursor, etc. And this is not going to replace developers. And but when you combine them, when you use AI to handle aesthetics, so you can work on the human's logic, you can build things that actually matter. Because I just noticed a problem. Like, okay, OCD people had this anxiety. I just want to create a to-do list application. And I had the dream. I just gave AI my dream and it gave me a sleek design. And I used that design to create an application out of it. And I made 3 versions of it, including for using Kotlin as well as Dart for both Android and iOS. So this project basically was an tribute for myself because it actually helped me sleep. And if you want to build it yourself, the code is in GitHub in the link below. I'm working on a full tutorial series breaking down the animations in the future, maybe. But if you find this helpful, if you are also trying some logics just like me in your own projects, hit that subscribe button. You have done enough for today, and good night. Bye.